OTT has become quite a buzzword, especially in this pandemic periods. If you are late to the party,
I don't see how that's a party.
fear not, I'm here to clear out all your doubts regarding this OTT thingy. We might have been binging contents like movies, documentaries and web series on our cozy little room via our mobile laptop devices, and to do this we use streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, unless you are sailing the high seas or using Telegram. These are the OTTs, which stands for over-the-top service. It's called over-the-top because it literally is based on providing the service over the top of the internet-based models. It bypasses previous mediums like cable TV and satellite television and provides content to the viewers via the internet. Now, I will not go into more about OTTs and how it works, so I'll keep a link in the description to a video by Gadget by Nepal that will let you know more about these platforms and how it works. So now you know what is OTT, let's go to
I'll do you one better.
why OTT. I think I don't need to emphasize more on this because the pandemic has explained it more clearly. All the movies that were scheduled to release in theaters were pushed into these OTT platforms. Large deals were made and record-shattering views were collected. The examples are at your disposal with movies like Zack Snyder's Justice League to Mulan, from Ludo to Dil Bechara, and the latest Salman Khan movie, Wanted 2, which all resorted to premiering the movies on the OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hotstar, and some underrated names like Movie for their movies to be able to see the light of the day. So you see, OTT is a serious thing, right? Even though in these times of pandemic the content creation did not stop, neither did the creators have to rethink about its release. We are constantly getting an influx of international contents, which is amazing. But can we say the same thing about Nepali content and Nepali platforms? So if I ask you which is the biggest OTT platform of Nepal, what would your answer be? Few names might have popped up in your mind like Fopi or Net TV, Video Puzzle, etc. or the even recent ones like Chalchitra TV or Magar app. But the biggest OTT platform in Nepal is... let me keep that as suspense. I will reveal it in the end of the video. Also, do you think that you have been hearing these other OTT platforms names enough or use these platforms to watch Nepali contents? I seriously doubt it. So why do these platforms, which are best alternative for theater releases and a huge success internationally, are not being able to assemble audiences successfully in Nepal and sucks massively? Let's dissect it. The most important thing for OTT platforms to be success and keep going is the content. Let me rephrase that. The success of OTT platforms is based on quality content. As they say, content is queen. And without great contents, no one can serve this raging storm of intellectual audiences except our audiences of trending YouTube page of Nepal. The perfect example for this is the Indian web series Asur, from an OTT platform called Voot. Surely, this platform was running well before Asur series, but it was this series which compelled many users to subscribe to this platform just to watch this amazing original series, which was only available in their platform. So it's like if you want to watch this series, you have to come to us. There's no other option. Similarly, if you want to watch a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie, then you have to be subscribed to Disney Plus. There's no other options, except you know where. So now, talking about content in Nepal and Nepali OTT platforms, it is solely based on the feature movies that had been released way back and now dumped into these OTT platforms. Except these feature movies, there are no other contents in Nepal. So what if the movies they are flaunting proudly gets leaked? Then ultimately, the dumping site of the movies is YouTube. So what remains on their OTT platform? Nothing. A very resounding example is of Chalchitra TV, with the only movies they were flaunting were Chhaka Panja 3, Chha Maya Chha Pakkai and Dal Bhat Tarkari. which ultimately all these 3 movies got released in YouTube after the piracy in Telegram and Facebook, thus leaving them with no further content than a web series which themselves were not interested to do publicity. Thus, audiences were also not interested to watch. I tried logging on to Chalchitra TV, but their web portal seems to be down. I don't know what's the reason. What these OTT platforms have to understand is that the release of feature-length movies that have already made rounds in cinema halls on their platforms is not only content. The original series made specially for the OTT, be it movies, web series or even documentaries, should be planned and executed properly. The creators should come out of the bubble of the fake assurance that OTT platforms are self-sufficient here in Nepal. The another major problem that I see in here, as I'd like to quote in Nepali, is Chau Sari Umrieka OTT platforms, and no single one focuses on providing good and better contents. I will just name a few available platforms and you will be surprised that these many OTTs are running in Nepal and you haven't even heard a few names. There are platforms like Net TV, Prabhu TV, Wow Time, Video Puzzle, 4P, iFlix, Chalchitra TV, RBA, Cine Prime, Dish Home, Max TV, Net TV, Via TV and Mero TV. What content they provide is still a mystery. The original content is less than the number of OTT platforms available in today's time. It's not that hard to assemble and create a platform. What's difficult is to sustain the platform by providing content to it on a monthly, if not weekly or daily basis. And our platforms lack in this field. Will people subscribe to your platform and pay 100 rupees just to watch a 2 years old below average movie and a bunch of other short movies? I mean, why would they?
OTT platform paisa raise nagarne, they are not putting money where their mouth is. You have to raise the money first, and pay the content, create content in order to get the audience.
Right.
त्यो सिनेमाको उसमा मात्र रिलाइ गरेर राख्ने, टिभीलाई बनाएको एक दुईवटा एपिसोडलाई मात्र रिलाइ गरेर राख्ने, हैन? अनि त्यसपछि टेक्नोलोजीमा प्रब्लम आयो, पेमेन्टमा प्रब्लम आयो भनेर दोष दिएर चाहिँ हुँदैन के।
Few months ago, the critically acclaimed movie Bulbul, starring Swastima Khadka, was available for free on 4P app for more than 6 months. It was neither pirated nor many people were aware of this movie's availability, which could be the reasons of its not being pirated. But my point is, the content was there, but there was no interest from the audiences. Only hardcore cinephiles and true Nepali movie lovers did subscribe and knew about the movie and watched it. Also, by the way, on the side note, if you like updates like these, then there's my Instagram channel that could be perfect companion for you to get notified about this important movie updates. The handle is in your movie screen. It's movie_geek_Nepal. So moving back. So now, how does this audience's demand have any correlation with OTT platforms? The relation is, if your OTT doesn't comply with the audience's demands, then you shall perish in the test of time and audiences. We cannot fully understand what audiences want, and how can we bluff about comparing our contents with Netflix and all that, just a plain bullshit. Again, the big blow to our OTT and the theaters, and its biggest arch nemesis, is piracy. There's a long history of Nepali movies with piracy, be it Chaka Panja 2 case, where one guy who was involved in the case did lost his life by committing suicide. The latest news of movie like Chaka Panja 3 and Chamaya Chapake being leaked via YouTube and Facebook and Telegram. It's not that international contents do not get pirated. You can watch the latest episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier immediately when it gets premiered every Friday. But why do OTTs still thrive there, and it's a huge risk here in Nepal? I shall come to that in my next point. The biggest hurdle for any OTT is the OTT itself. The OTTs were on a rise due to its availability, affordability and ready-to-use services via an easy payment system, which is brilliantly explained by Linus from Linus Tech Tips and is on the info bar if you would like to know about. Just click the tab, but I will summarize it anyways. The OTTs like Netflix and Prime Video are very easy to use and access. Their interface is very user-friendly and you can do various tasks like changing subtitles, fast-forward, reverse, audio input and many other facilities. In fact, the services were so convenient to the users that many people started to resort to these OTTs, saving themselves a hassle of pirating movies through illegal sites. Also, the payment system to those services is very convenient to users, such that there are many illegal ways to pay for these services directly from Nepal as well. I guess just recently, there has been a legal gateway for the payment via dollar cards. But before this, you could pay for these services like Netflix IDs and Amazon Primes or Spotify from the ads that have been showing in your Facebook, Insta or even the Raj pages. With just this, which clearly proves how popular these services are here in Nepal, and people choose them over piracy via torrents. Just amazing. Now coming back to our Nepali OTTs, the interface of the OTTs are troublesome, already with a choppy UI and the limited feature making it jarring experience overall. And the payment system is not reliable here. Yeah, there are payment gateways like Halti, eSeva, IME for digital payments, but even they cannot provide the level of security and reliability that these platforms demand. I have heard and noticed cases of trying to watch a movie via Video Postal app and the payment doesn't get accepted for more than a day. Also, there are no regulatory and governing bodies that look after the tax and the revenues for the OTTs here in Nepal. There is even slightest doubt that OTTs are even legal and falls under any jurisdiction. There was a huge outcry a few days ago for the case of Radhe releasing in the OTT, which was neither censor passed nor was its revenue monitored and taxed by the government. There are basically two types of models for OTT for content monetization, that is PPV and SPM. PPV or pay-per-view is a type of pay television or webcast service by which a viewer can purchase events to view private telecast. The broadcaster shows the event at the same time to everyone ordering it. This name many of you might have heard previously in the major sporting events and special WWE events like SummerSlam, WrestleMania, etc. Pay-per-view is a good method of attracting new and casual viewers who don't want to spend more money and time online, but love a specific content and want to view it. The PPV model is modified in Nepali context as VOD, which stands as video on demand and has been showcased by Deshom and Net TV for a long time. It is like you pay to watch a special movie for this case, and the movie runs at the specific times throughout the day. All you need is a key to access the channel and catch the movie at that time. This model is quite ineffective when we see the other international platforms, which are subscription-based model. All the OTTs are subscription-based models because they have enough content in them to feed the content hunger of the consumers. But what we have in the name of content is the old movies which are just getting off from the cinema halls. The subscription-based models is just absurd to think of now. It's audacious that Magar Gold app has brought probably the first subscription-based model ever in OTT-based service of Nepal. But their movie is also weak like the others, glorifying the platform from a bunch of previous movies which were pre-released in theaters. They should reconsider making contents ahead if they want to sustain in this game.
They are not willing to pay anything for content. This is because we didn't take care of our intellectual property. Piracy गर्न दियौं.
The answer to the question I asked at the starting of the video is YouTube. YouTube is the most successful OTT platform in Nepal. Would you believe that the biggest competition or threat for Nepali movies, more than piracy, is YouTube? Go to any new trailer videos of Nepali movies and you will see the comments like, "Yo movie YouTube ma kaile aउने ho?" We Nepali audiences have been habituated to watching and waiting for the movies on YouTube. Even though the movie is freshly running in the theaters, we wouldn't mind waiting for the movie to release on YouTube rather than going out to the theater and watching it. In fact, we consider Nepali movies as a time pass material rather than an important commodity. It is not same case with the international movies. This was prominent when Manjari released on YouTube. Just an example. It was an average movie and nobody talked about it while it was running in theaters, but the huge acclaim it got after its YouTube was something else to see. In the other side, a bunch of audiences who know their movies and contents are either resorting to international franchise movies like Star Wars, Marvel, or other great foreign movies rather than watching Nepali movies. I am not pinpointing or claiming this fact, but majority of the YouTube views come from Gulf countries, whose example we can see from the trending page of Saudi Arabia or Qatar. It is equally important to address them as well, either providing them a reliable platform where they can watch Nepali movies conveniently, or either letting what is happening and ultimately dumping movies into YouTube after their shelf-life is over, screening around the world. Have you ever wondered why the movies like Seto Surya or The Black Hen are still not available officially in YouTube? It's because for this reason. I recently read an interview of renowned filmmakers, and in their speech they said that OTT is only a secondary market for now. The first and foremost market is theater and theater only. Well, I agree to this statement, but looking into the current scenario and still waiting for cinema halls to open so that films that are already piled up would be released is not a sensible option at all. Nothing can match a theater experience, I wholly agree. But in these dire situations, if we still think that is the only viable option, then our industry will cease to exist in the future. If we do not think and resort to making OTTs as primary option for a few years, it will be very, very difficult for Nepali movie industry.
नेपालमा त अहिले सिनेमा हल कोलाप्स भयो भने अनलाइन सिस्टम डेभलप भइसकेको छैन अनि सिनेमा हल कोलाप्स भयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ हाम्रो मार्केट टोटली बन्द हुन्छ हामीसँग अल्टरनेटिभ छैन अर्को
We all know the power of cinema as a whole. It would be really hard to survive this pandemic without the easily available contents in our disposal, yet we seem to underestimate the power of content and OTT platforms as a whole. If you ask me, the future of OTTs in Nepal, I would say, is just dark and bemusing at the same time. We can't fully embrace this system, nor can we stay away from it. It's the future after all. For now, let's just try to embrace this change that is happening and be comfortable with what we have in hand. Magar Gold app has few movies in their vault, so I would recommend you to go and watch them. I hope this video essay makes sense. I am sorry if I missed out anything or if anything didn't came out clearer, but I will definitely improve in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching the video till the end. If you like the videos, please consider liking and subscribing the video. It would mean a world to me. I shall be back with my new videos soon. Until then, stay safe, stay home, and keep watching movies. Thank you.